What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Forza Monthly. It's so great to be here with you. My name is Brian Eckberg. I'm the community manager with Forza, and we are back for another monthly show. We have a whole cast of characters. We've got so much Forza content to show you, and the guys are here. John Schomer to my right. John, how are you?
I'm awesome.
Yeah.
I'm glad to be here. Forza Monthly is this cool new thing.
It is a cool new thing, and John is here, and we're going to put him to work today because he's got a lot of cars to show off.
You call that work? Oh my God, what a great job I have.
Including this amazing Ferrari 812 Superfast. I know you guys saw it in the teaser image, you saw it in the tweets, you saw it everywhere. It's here in the studio with us. Thank you so much to our friends at Ferrari of Seattle for bringing the car to the studio and showing it off. John and I are going to take a little tour of this car in a little bit.
It wasn't just a tease.
That's right.
It's here.
It's here. So, in addition, we are welcoming John Knowles from the Forza Horizon 4 team. John, how are you?
I'm doing great. It's great. I think this is my first Forza Monthly.
This is your first Forza Monthly, but you and I have
Hope it's first of many.
That's right.
It'll be okay.
So. Yeah, you'll be fine. We'll treat you gently. Right. But yeah, coming off of E3, we've got a lot to talk about with Forza Horizon 4 today. Briefly, your E3 impressions. Amazing, right?
Yeah, I mean, everything went as well as it could go. A lot of hard work, but a great payoff. Game showed really well.
It did show really well, and we're going to take a look at Forza Horizon 4 and break some news on Forza Horizon 4 as well, so I can't wait for that. And last but not least, Chris Sasaki joining us for episode number 2.
Number 2. Back for the second time. This is great.
Yeah, welcome back to the show, and we've got some great news about Forza 7 as well.
A lot of FM7 news today. Excited to talk about it today.
There's so much to get to today. We are going to play some Forza Horizon 4. We're going to show off new stuff from Forza Motorsport 7. Chris and I are going to give you a download of that. We got new cars to show off. Yeah. We're going to talk some Forza RC. There's just so much going on. So really looking forward to that. John, should we do some Forza Horizon 4? Should we kick things off with Forza Horizon 4?
Sure. I mean, we brought the E3 demo.
Yeah, let's
we can just fire it up.
Listen, we do want to go. If you have questions about Forza Horizon 4, that's why John's here. John wants to answer questions about Forza Horizon 4. I know you guys are really curious about the game.
He knows everything.
Yeah, he knows if anyone knows anything.
Which car should I
Which
pick?
car?
We made 3 choices in the demo. Got the Porsche Cayman GT4, got the ACR Viper, and got the hero car, the McLaren Center.
I don't know.
I haven't seen the GT4 yet. I've seen the Senna a couple times. It's awesome, but.
All right. Well, you know what? Let's just You know what? I'm going to drive the fastest medium.
Disregard.
Yeah. Did you hear that this thing went around the Estoril track 6 seconds faster than the P1 did?
Well, P1, that's Forza 5 stuff. We're leaving that behind.
This car is amazing.
That is amazing, though. 6 seconds.
6 seconds.
That's enough. That's enough time to say a lot.
Actually, I'm being told in my ear something I forgot. We are going to, before we get into the demo, we're going to, because we were at E3.
Oh, yes.
We're going to show you guys a behind-the-scenes look, a sort of recap video of everything that happened at E3 2018. Take a look.
All right.
Today, I am excited to show you the world premiere of Forza Horizon 4, set in beautiful, historic Britain. Forza Horizon 4 features dynamic seasons in a shared open world, and seasons change everything. Forza Horizon 4 is coming to Xbox One and Windows 10 on October 2nd, and I am thrilled to announce that it will be included in Xbox Game Pass on the same day.
When Horizon started, Ralph came out, the trailer, people were just screaming. So it was great, sitting in the back. Alan and I kind of took a seat back in the mezzanine.
Just watching the reaction ripple through the crowd was just fantastic.
To make that announced live on stage, represent the team back at Playground as well, it was a real thrill.
Hi, Ken Block here. I am at E3 at the Forza Partner Summit. I enjoy always being a part of these events.
Hi, I'm Sebastian from Porsche, and I'm very excited about Forza Horizon 4, having many Porsche cars in there.
We have an inside look inside the Microsoft Theater.
Boom.
So how would someone who was using an adaptive controller, how might they use this with a Forza game?
Great question. Solomon was on stage and was demoing with a single-handed controller from PDP that'll be coming out later this year. Plugs into one of the ports on the device as a USB device, and you can steer with that and use a foot pedal for gas.
I bought one of these a year ago and I still haven't gotten it. This is the first. So you get to drive. This is the first Senna drive. Sheep! Hey, man!
That truck crazy, man.
We have just unveiled the beautiful McLaren Senna. Andy, thank you so much for bringing this wonderful machine with you.
Hey, thank you, Graham, for having us here. It was an honor to be here and launch the McLaren Senna at the Mixer booth.
Tell me the specs for this thing. I mean, just how fast is it?
It is incredible performance for a road car. It's 0 to 60 in 2.7 seconds. It has, as we said, 800 horsepower, 800 kilograms of downforce, all coupled to a car that only weighs 2,961 pounds.
It's fantastic to have it as a cover car for Forza Horizon.
Graham, it's fantastic to be here. It's been great to be a part of Xbox here at E3.
All right, everybody, there you go. The McLaren Senna, absolutely incredible. You've seen it here, and don't worry, you'll be able to experience it for yourself very soon in Forza Horizon 4.
There you go. There's your look at E3 2018 Forza Horizon 4, John. What an experience.
Oh, man. I mean, this is a lot of E3s for me, but, this was a great one. It really went off well.
We saw Deadmau5, we saw Jared Jeffries, we saw
Marshawn Lynch.
Yep.
He did one-handed driving, and all those guys did it. Especially Deadmau5.
Yeah,
and that was his first test drive of the Senna, which I guess he bought.
Yeah.
And hasn't received it yet.
Well,
so this is the first time he got to drive it.
There's your first. It'll be everybody's first drive when they play Forza Horizon 4. Yeah. So now it's time to check out the demo. That's what we're here for. Again, if you've got questions for John or for anybody on the team here, let us know in the chat, and we will do our best to answer all the questions we can. Of course, we can't answer everything. There's still things we want to, roll out about Forza Horizon 4.
Hype.
Yeah, we got to get some hype going. But yeah, if you've got questions, we want to see what we can do to get those answered. In the meantime, while we get this demo going, I'm going to say some hellos to our friends in Mixer. We've got Octopus Decoy. Hello, Hieronymus is here. Jans, enter OG name here. Fear the Werewolf and Simon, our mods. Baseland, what's up, man? PNAP1234, Sim007. Don Joan Song is here.
TR the Flash.
TR the Flash. A lot of names, new and old alike. And I don't mean old in the, you guys are a bunch of old guys. I mean, like, you are constant viewers, so it's great to have you here. Thank you for everyone. So, John, we're in the E3 demo.
Yeah.
You're in the Senna.
E3 demo, in the Senna, racing through a lovely autumn Lake District part of the UK, which is really pretty part of the UK. You might have seen that in Force Awakens. I think the epic final battle of that Star Wars movie took place around the lake country.
Oh, okay.
It's got mountains, it's got lakes, it's got trees. It's beautiful.
The visuals really leave you
breathless. Oh, that's good.
Now, what is the right term to talk about where Forza Horizon 4 takes place? Is it take place in Britain, or I've heard the British Isles?
Well, I don't claim to be an expert on the geopolitical boundaries within Britain and the UK, but it's Britain. It is on the Isle of Great Britain, which is the Big Island, right?
Yep.
It largely covers, I guess, the Cotswolds in the south to up in Edinburgh, Scotland in the north, the North Sea coast on the east, and on the west we'll have Lake Country. It's pretty big, so it's got a little bit of Wales, a little bit of Scotland, a little bit of England. Okay. So we just say Britain for short.
Britain. That sums it up. But Edinburgh is the big city.
Yes.
And I've heard that that's a really interesting place to drive.
It's cool because it's an historic city, obviously. It's also got a bunch of unique architecture that we just haven't really seen in a while. We had the modern cityscape of Surfers Paradise in Forza Horizon 3's Australia.
Yep.
So this is a nice contrast to that. It's a beautiful old city.
The one question I saw
is... I'm driving, I got to pay attention.
Twisted Drifter wants to know, will there be like driftable roads on the map here?
Yes, we've heard you.
Yeah.
Yes, there will be driftable roads.
They want those twos roads.
Yeah, so it is the most vertical map, I guess, in the Horizon series. What I mean by that is there's a lot more verticality, a lot more hills, a lot more mountains. I can't gesture with my hands while I'm driving. Look at that. I just let people pass me when I do that. So yes, that means you have a lot more switchbacks, a lot more twisty roads than you did, say, in the last game.
Which is funny because the first thing you think of when you think of Britain isn't necessarily verticality, but it's there if you look for it.
No, Britain is a remarkably diverse geology and geography, and it's not only beautiful, but I did manage to get third place. Look at that.
Not bad.
Yeah, it's got mountains. Like I said, the lake country, you've seen them in the trailer. There's a shot of the cars leaping off the mountain when it turns to winter.
Right.
Really fun to play in all seasons. Very different in winter than it is in summer, which is the whole point of seasons.
Yep.
Not the whole point, but it's a big point of it, is that the world is always changing.
Joe the Flash says, try living in Bristol. Everywhere is up or downhill in Bristol, apparently. There you go. Here we go to spring. Get a little mud racing.
You
Love
just
this.
jumped into
my
spring.
God, look at chat. Chat's going crazy. We're going to try to get some of these answered, guys.
All right.
Let's see. When seasons change weekly, will it be gradual or instant? Haas is asking that.
Somewhere between the two, closer to instant.
Okay.
So instant, not really like snap your fingers kind of quick. It will take a few seconds. But yes, it'll happen pretty quickly, and it'll happen for everybody.
Which happens in real life sometimes. Sometimes you just go right from fall, and then all of a sudden it's winter.
Well, depending on where you live. Some
That's
people
right.
in England would, or Scotland will tell you you have 4 seasons in a single day. So.
Wonk Your Bear is asking free roam. We're not in free roam right now. We're playing the E3 demo.
Yeah, this is the E3 demo.
But
you
of
can
course,
roam a little bit.
Of course, free roam it's all about free roam
Yes,
in
it
Horizon.
is a massively free roam game, of course. And if you notice, this is my dash view. We kind of teased you guys last time. We did a dash view specifically for the E3 demo in Horizon 3 because we had the sled, but we couldn't go and apply them to all the cars. I'm happy to inform you if you haven't figured it out already. And in Horizon 4, every single one of our over 450 cars that come with the base game will come with a dash camera, and every car that follows thereafter.
They want you to thread the needle. They want you to thread the needle,
Jesus,
John.
all right. In this view? All
yes, yes. Oh, nice.
I did it.
Nicely done.
Whoa,
Well
it's
done.
a little bumpy there, though. All right. Yeah, I've done this demo a few times in my week at E3. Really fun on the sled, if you've seen footage of that. It's a wild ride.
Daisy Cutter.
And
That's
bunny
a new
rabbit
one.
right there, lower left.
Yes, there are bunny rabbits.
Bunny rabbits.
And no, you can't hit them either. We do not allow those things.
No, because this game has the greatest
Animal avoidance AI of any game.
And
in
vehicle
history.
avoidance.
Vehicle avoidance, yeah.
Vehicle avoidance. that's
So
what I
you
meant.
heard it here.
Vehicle avoidance.
It is patented vehicle creature avoidance
Yeah.
technology
No,
that we're.
it wouldn't be Britain if it wasn't peppered with sheep, right?
That's right.
And we want you to
Peppered with
drive
sheep.
everywhere. So you don't just want to have sheep on a hillside separated between, by a hard wall. We want you to be able to smash through walls.
That's right.
Because it's fun to go everywhere.
We're going to give, John's going to do this last part, and then we're going to hand over the controller to John
Are you
Schomer.
going to drive the Porsche, the Cayman?
I don't know. Maybe.
All right, we'll
This
What
would
do
be
you
the
guys
first
wanna
time
see?
that I ever
All
played
right.
it.
We started in the McLaren Senna. What do you guys want to see? We can either do the Dodge Viper or we can do the McLaren GT4. So you let us know.
Porsche
what you-
GT4.
Porsche GT4. John will drive that car if you let us know in chat.
Well,
we'll
look
leave
out.
it to you guys.
Oh, that's
Holy
the first
mackerel.
time I've done that.
Oh, that's an expensive
In a long
windshield.
time.
Oh, that's tough.
Oh, look at my windshield.
Party foul.
That could have been a lot worse.
Oh, somebody
No.
said
This was
Screamies
real
wants
life.
more Senna. He can't
Okay,
get enough of
I'll
this
drive the
Senna.
Senna too. So
I got to tell you, this car is wicked fun to drive. It's so planted. So those of you who like to drift, this might not be your favorite car right out the gate because it's not going to drift. It is so planted. It's an F1 car for the road. That's how I see it.
now
And-
in
oh,
the,
man, is it for-
I saw an AI car that looked like a 1920s Bentley.
You saw a 1930, early 30s. I think it's a 31 blower Bentley.
We've never seen that in a Forza game before.
It's pretty awesome.
That looks really cool.
Yeah.
Just because you guys are asking, we are looking at Twitch and Mixer Chat. So if you got questions and you're watching us on Twitch, awesome. We'll
Should
do
I
our best
do a
here.
stylish finish here?
Yes, of
All right.
course.
Drift it.
The more stylish, the better.
Oh, that wasn't very
Oh,
stylish.
I don't know, man. That was kind of
right.
mediocre.
Yeah.
Nice try, though.
Fairly stylish. That was my kind of stylish.
All
I
right,
think.
my
All
hand
right.
Johnny wanted the
John,
sweaty
I want is
control.
going to play it now.
Okay.
And
Oh, I want a prize. What's my prize, Brian?
the shirt you're wearing, you get to
Shirt
wear that
I'm wearing,
home.
and if-
That's a good one.
And if he does it, do I have to?
Now,
give him the
yeah,
shirt?
you have to.
You
give
said
that-
that
that's right.
if
It's gonna
I get
awkward.
it, you will give me the shirt, and
Off
so
my back. All right. Yes, we
no
did give
promises
away-
though. This is my first time playing the demo, and I don't know just how good I will be.
Well, we'll find out.
I don't know the roads. How many times have you been through the demo, John? 20 times?
A few.
Yeah, a few
Okay.
times. Yeah.
Okay, so just don't judge. or feel free to judge. Are we in manual here?
Well, I just left it on automatic with traction control on. So this is what everybody.
That's how I
has to
normally
experience
play.
by default. You can turn all that stuff off if you want to.
No, I'm good. I'm just good as long as it's not going to be extremely weird. Am I ready to go here?
Go.
Okay.
Formula 5 YT wants to know, do we have a release date for the map? Well, there's a lot yet to
the map.
He wants to see the whole map. He wants to see the map.
Now?
No, not
3
now.
months before the game comes out?
He's asking.
I don't think we revealed that yet.
Yeah. He's asking when are we going to reveal that. And I said, soon. There's a lot more information.
Not today.
There's stuff coming.
There's a lot more. We're going to reveal some stuff today that you've never heard before, which is awesome. And actually, this is why I wanted to give John the controller, because I know you wanted to talk about.
Because I can't talk and drive.
Exactly.
As
I
well
wanted
as
to
John.
free it up for you because there's a whole bunch of things we're doing with cars this time around.
Yes, and handling and things like that.
Yeah.
So, it's not really kind of stuff you go out and talk about, let's say at E3, but for the community, for you guys who are really into, the Forza engine and what we do in the games, in the gameplay, we got some neat stuff going on this time around. Some new improvements.
Some new tire stuff, which I think is going to be cool.
Lots of new tires. Twice as many tire compounds as were in Horizon 3, not just because we like to double things, but because what it does is it gives you a lot more granularity for the ever-growing and ever more diverse car list.
Right.
So over 450 cars, there's lots of different types of cars, obviously. And I also want to rebalance PI, because we knew, more tires gives us a chance to balance cars, especially older cars with vintage tires.
Does that mean new classes? You're adding classes or just spreading
Same
things out a
classes,
bit?
just giving a lot more balance, especially on the low end. Really, and most importantly, giving more cars a feeling of connection to the road, because the tires are playing a more important part in weight transfer.
Got it.
It's all very scientific. Cool.
So I'm going to just choose the GT4. I haven't seen anybody objecting to that. Is it okay with you guys?
It's a cool car. It's a little bit more loose than the other ones.
So it's a car I'm just a little bit more familiar with insofar as the way it handles. So hopefully,
I trust you.
Probably doesn't have the top end of the Senna or the.
It's still
Viper,
pretty zippy,
but it's
and
very zippy.
fun to drive.
People asking in chat about houses. How do houses work? Why do I need a house in Forza Horizon 4?
Well, a couple reasons. One, they're really cool, and people have been asking for years, how come I can't buy houses in Horizon?
Right.
Now you can.
Yes.
They also unlock some perks. I don't want to tell you which perks you're going to get per house, but each house you buy will get you another perk. You buy with credits. That's it. You know. If you're a VIP, you're going to get a really nice house for free, which is cool.
Nice.
You don't have to pay any credits for it. And it's also a fast travel destination, so helps you get around the map much quicker. But no, you're not going to be picking out your furniture or rearranging your garage or things like that.
It's not The Sims?
It's not what we're doing this time around.
Not this time around.
Yeah, but from cottages to castles. You can even own Edinburgh Castle if you want. Now, how cool is that? And, I should say you also get to use Forza Vista to explore your cars. Now in front of your driveway parked, and you can paint your cars and do all that outdoors. So the natural light is hitting the car. It just makes it look better. And you can still do that in the festival shop if you want. But everything you can do at a festival site, you could do in your house.
Yeah, access the auction house.
Almost hit a sheep. It looked like I almost hit a sheep.
You can't hit sheep. It's
Trust me.
impossible.
It was so close.
I've been told by an expert that these sheep are very good at this.
No, they're pretty
Now,
good at
some
that.
rock
They're quite
walls
fast.
are breakable and others are not.
Yeah, so when you see the stacked, what they call stone dikes, it's just stacked rocks. They're all breakable throughout the game. And then you'll have very, very clean masoned walls, I guess, that you actually won't find very many of. Playground's gone out of their way to make sure that you can, with each edition of Horizon, we let you go more places within the world. And
Did I achieve my goal in that first section?
Did you
get
go
to
over
150?
150 miles per hour through the speed trap?
That's your goal.
I don't know.
If not, you
we'll
have to take
find
your
out at
shirt
the
off.
end. And I get to keep my shirt.
All right, John, back to the cars.
Oh,
Suspension.
Yes. So
Cool suspension
in
stuff.
addition to the tires and probably, because of the tire changes, Playground spent a lot of work revamping the suspension system. So this has to do with the verticality of Britain. The cars are going to be going up and down a lot more. There's a lot more hills and bumps and things like that.
Yep.
We have a much more progressive damping model, jacking forces, a lot of fancy pants talk
So
from
you
our
kind of
car
see
designers.
it here, though, right?
Yes, with this trophy truck, you'll notice when people are driving this really hard and making a hard right turn, the left inside wheel, front wheel is going to lift up That's what happens with real trophy trucks. Didn't happen in the last game. It's happening now because of this entirely new suspension geometry that has been put into place. It still feels like Horizon, but the cars are actually more connected to the road than they were before, and there's much more difference between an off-road vehicle and a road vehicle, and much more reason to pick one versus the other.
Right. And what's this I hear about drift suspension upgrades?
Yep.
That's big news.
So there's a new drift suspension upgrade that's been added to the upgrades. So it lives right next to race suspension and rally suspension. And what it does is it kind of starts with the race suspension, where it starts with stiffer springs, lowers it, but it goes lower than a race suspension, and it goes
slam it,
and it stances the car properly,
Yep.
and most importantly, gives you 50 degrees plus of turning steering
angle.
Yes, which is kind of important, and it also increases the rate at which you can go from full lock to full lock, which is really important when you're doing drifting.
Right.
And this can be applied to most cars in the game.
Okay.
It probably wouldn't be applied to like track and race cars or some hypercars, but just about every other car that you can imagine, you can hook up with the drift setup.
Love it.
Which is pretty neat.
I love it, Chris Sasaki.
Yeah, well, that's coming to Forza 7.
That's right.
More news about that.
That's
oh,
right.
man. We just teased it right there. That's a good tease.
We can talk about it in a second.
Yeah, we'll talk about that too. John, how you doing? How you feeling about things? Springtime now.
Failed to get to third. Missed a checkpoint.
Okay.
I'm keeping my shirt.
That's
so
all
far.
right. To find other ways to earn a shirt.
That's right. We will find other ways.
So
to
I'm really enjoying playing though. It's super fun. The colors are just so vivid. It feels each car really feels differently. I could feel that truck.
Chicken Worm on Mixer is asking, will there be new kits, new Rocket Bunny kits, new wide body
Yeah,
kits?
you can expect that just as we added a bunch of wide body kits and off-road kits and rally kits and things like that in Horizon 3, we're continuing to do that for as many cars as we can do that too.
Vision Zone says 50 degrees more. We're going to
No,
have more.
not 50 degrees more.
50%
At least 50
more.
degrees, 20% more.
20% more.
So I should specify the physics have always been at least what you see in game versus what's actually happening in physics has not always been the same to prevent clipping and weird stuff like that. Now we're actually saying, you know what? We're giving you the physics is what you're seeing, unless in like it's a really bad case of clipping, right?
Right.
So you used to always have, I don't know, what is it, somewhere in the 30s or 40 degrees of steering. Now you're gonna get 50 plus.
There you go.
And it's gonna match what you see.
Nice. Well, there you go. That's the drift update. I think people are going to be looking forward to that in Forza Horizon 4. If you've got questions, when are the cars being revealed? We're going to reveal 2 cars you've never seen before today.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
It's pretty cool.
So look forward to that. But yes, we'll have more news on the car list later in the summer. Mr. Felony is asking, what about hot rod kits? I think you mentioned me hot rod kits.
In addition to like rally kits, hot rod, a lot of muscle cars, you can put a blower in the front. Sometimes we chop the roof. I mean, we're still banging away on those, but lots of cars, lots of parts being added. At some point, I think I might help come up with a more complete list of the things that we're doing between now and launch.
Well, a future Forza Monthly will probably have more details on that. I know a lot of people are asking about the demo date for Forza Horizon 4. No announcement on that yet. But listen, guys, we do demos. I mean, these things happen. So we will let you know when the demo is coming. Just stay tuned for all of that. I know a lot of people are asking about that in chat. We are reading Twitch, STV2. We are reading Twitch. We're reading both. Is there going to be anything for drag racing?
Nice dodge.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Now I'm in the center.
Drag racing.
Drag racing.
Yes, I heard that.
Okay.
Yes, in fact, Playground has added a drag tire compound to Horizon for the first time in Horizon. It's been in motorsport for a long time.
Yes.
And also our tinkering. I can't promise this.
Okay.
We're tinkering with the drag suspension to go along with the drift suspension, which wouldn't go to as many cars as the drift suspension, but would certainly be something that could be applied to muscle cars, which utilizes the anti-squat tech that Playground did for the new suspension modeling that helps trophy trucks and things like that. It also helps muscle cars keep the back end up when they're launching. So
it's something the team is looking at right now.
Yeah. So we don't usually talk about things we're working on that we haven't promised, but I kind of think this is something we'll keep working on, even if it's not there.
Big finish.
Right on. I got this question a lot at E3. Hey, well done. Well done.
Came back at the end.
Will there be a
Came
big
back at the end.
airstrip / drag strip?
Of course
there will be. Gotta have that.
So
It's a Horizon game.
there's 2 things players love to do in Horizon. online, drag racing and drifting.
Yep.
One in a parking lot somewhere in Surfers Paradise, one at the airstrip is the drag racing, and Playground knows that, so they've built the world to. They've observed how people play the game,
of course,
and have made a world that allows people to play the game the way they want to play it, more than ever before.
So if they've watched me, they know that I hit a lot of trees. Have they done anything to help me personally?
Glad you should mention that. It has not escaped our attention, or Playground's attention, that
John hits trees?
There were some inconsistencies, let's say, with the way some trees were destructible and some weren't destructible.
There's a
Horizon
couple.
3.
Just a couple.
And it was even worse in Horizon 2. It got a little bit better with 3. Well, they've really, really, really done a good job in Horizon 4. A fat tree won't break.
Right.
A skinny tree will.
You'll know.
And now you can totally tell the difference between skinny trees and fat trees.
Nice.
Okay. Did they turn off the magnet thing that happens when I drive?
That's just you. That's just you.
That's John, I want
looking at the tree that you don't want to hit is the quickest way to hit a tree.
I'll just keep working with that then.
Well, good. Yeah. And lastly, I guess I could say that for those of you who are really into force feedback and steering wheels, major change to Horizon's force feedback system. It's been totally revamped. It's calculated using the alignment torque generated at the contact patch, combining both mechanical and pneumatic trail on all surfaces. The short story is
better.
It's better, more realistic, and actually more in keeping with what Motorsport is going to be doing as well, or doing already, I think. So those systems are now shared.
Works with the handbrake?
Well, yes.
Yes, because it
You
does
have
in
a
Forza
handbrake.
7 now, of course.
Yeah.
Because now I'm spoiled. All right, that'll be cool.
Well, that is a lot of good news. Let me mention very quickly before we move on that Forza Horizon 4 will be on the very next episode of Inside Xbox, which is airing on July 10th. So don't miss that, because that's going to be a lead-in into a stream from Playground Games where they will be talking about seasons here on the Forza channel. So we'll go from Inside Xbox into that stream. So you don't want to miss that. That's coming on Tuesday, July 10th, the next episode of Inside Xbox. You don't want to miss it. The next big news from Forza Horizon 4 coming then. But we've got big news about Forza Horizon 4 here.
Now?
We're going to show you guys. Now you guys know.
Oh, they already know about it.
They know that that the Formula D car, the Formula Drift car pack is coming. But what you don't know is that list of cars. We're revealing 2 of those cars right now with this very special image that our geniuses back at the office put together. Look at that.
Yeah.
All right. Remember, now with the Formula
Tasty,
Drift car pack, you get it both in Forza Horizon 4 and Forza Motorsport 7 when you digitally pre-order Forza Horizon 4. So John Knowles, what are we looking at here?
Well, on the right, in the Forza Horizon 4 background, is Josh Robinson's Maloo Ute Formula Drift car. That's pretty cool. I mean, he showed up. John Iwana and I met him in L.A. When we were down there visiting the Hoonigan guys. He's super cool, super tall, super smart, and he's a great driver. And he's made quite a splash with the Ute, and also Justin Pollock's Mustang.
Okay.
Formula Drift Mustang.
So that's 2 cars that you didn't know about before. Now you know. John, you excited about those 2 cars?
Yeah. Josh, like you said, talk to him. He's a friend. He's a really cool guy. The Ute is awesome. And JTP's Mustang is like a staple in Formula Drift. So, I mean, those are two of the cars you want to drive, and the rest of them we do know, and they are awesome too.
There's 5 more super tasty cars that are hot like that, but different.
Yeah.
So we'll be letting you guys know what those are soon.
Yeah.
All taking advantage of that new steering angle stuff that you were talking about.
You can see it in that image. Those
That's not doctored.
They
crank like that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy awesome.
Well, there you go. There's 2 of the cars coming to the Formula Drift car pack. Remember, you can get that car pack in both Forza Horizon 4 and Forza Motorsport 7 when you digitally pre-order Forza Horizon 4. And of course, we'd be remiss if we didn't mention that Forza Horizon 4 is coming to Xbox One and Windows 10 on October 2nd. It is part of Game Pass. If you pre-order the game, you'll have early access with the Ultimate Edition on September 28th. John, thank you so much.
All right, man.
Appreciate that. Now, guys, we're going to switch gears, and we are going to switch over to Forza Motorsport 7. But before we play the game and start talking about all the great stuff that's happening, we're going to have a special message from our friends at Top Gear about the latest car pack.
Hi there, my name is John Richards. I'm a Top Gear director in the UK. I was recently asked to direct this new trail for Forza Motorsport 7's new Top Gear car pack, and I jumped to it. What's not to love? But I had to figure out how to direct it. And I didn't want to do a static storyboard of images. It just didn't feel right. So instead, I cut together my favourite sequences, shots and sound effects from power tests that I've directed, cut it all together, sent it over as a living storyboard, an animatic, and the Forza team have just transformed it. I absolutely love what they've done. I'm so proud to be involved, and I love the cars too, and I hope you love it as much as I do. Cheers.
Play it on Xbox One.
There you go. That is the world debut of the Top Gear car pack for Forza Motorsport 7, coming
tasty.
July 10th.
Tasty car pack.
Yeah, that is pretty much as good as it gets, Chris Sasaki.
I don't think it can get much better than that. That's got to be one of the best car packs we've ever released.
Certainly since I've been here, and John and I have been here a long time, but we've all been here a long time.
When's this coming out?
This is coming on July 10th. Now, this is
Next
coming
Tuesday.
alongside the July update for Forza Motorsport 7. If you are a Car Pass member, you've got the Top Gear car pack. You've got the car pack. It's yours.
What are we doing?
Right? It's the
it's a
Vool,
giveaway.
the
It's a
Ferrari, the McLaren.
That is another car pack.
That is
comes with
another
car pass.
and one more to come after that as well. So don't forget that.
And as you saw, and as I purported
Yes.
weeks ago, possibly the best car pack ever. And that's a subjective opinion, but I mean,
It's pretty good.
look at that list of cars.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's a beast of a car pack, no doubt. And we are going to spend some time going through each of the cars with none other than Chris Sasaki and John Awana, our resident car expert here. And we also have, of course, the update to talk about that Chris and I will go through as well. But first, I think we start with some cars. Let's start with the McLaren. Now, the McLaren we announced last month. We said, hey guys, this is coming in July.
and it was here.
And
it was here
right behind
where
us.
this other car is. We
That's right.
haven't even mentioned yet.
So let's get in there. Where else to show it off but Top Gear, I think.
I think you're right.
We've got ourselves the Stig's digital cousin driver gear, which everyone will get as part of the Top Gear car pack.
That's a first too, isn't it?
Yeah.
How appropriate.
I know, it just makes sense, doesn't it? Some say he's part of the Top Gear car pack. And they're correct when they say that. So, McLaren 720S, John.
Now, the last couple weeks here, I have seen more McLarens at Turn 10 Studios than I have seen anywhere ever. There was 2 different 720Ss on site.
Oh.
I don't know what's up with my braking. Getting used to the car, not my settings. But wow, what an amazing car. And as you remember last month in the Forza Monthly, there was one right behind us here. And
This color, too.
Yeah, it was
Arctic
this color.
white, I think it was.
We gave it away. That car was coming, and it's no disappointment at all.
I gotta say, I had a little guy, a little friend call and say, hey, you should really come downstairs, like right now. And I said, okay. And the urgency in the voice was palpable. And so I decided, I will come down immediately when someone says, come down now.
Right.
All right. And I see someone waving me over in a beautiful 720S in the parking lot. I got a ride in it. I even got a little bit of time behind the wheel.
Did you?
I didn't get cold.
I know.
I'm in the same building you are.
Horizon life, man.
Yeah. That's the Horizon life. You live in that Horizon life. When you're the game director of Forza Motorsport 7, there are privileges.
It was nice. The turn-in was impeccable.
Yeah, I bet.
And it was incredibly well maintained and behaved, and just a beautiful car all up. It was.
And how about the
incredible.
sound? What about the sound of that McLaren twin turbo 4-liter engine?
It was great. I mean, the thing is, it's deceptively just a street car. And then you turn it over the track settings, and oh boy,
Yeah.
yeah, it's amazing.
But by all accounts, at least from what I've heard, is that it's relatively comfortable to get inside this
Oh
thing.
yeah. As far as things go, as
Yeah.
they say, supercars, they don't have doors that go like this. They have doors that go like this.
Right.
And so that's always going to be a little bit uncomfortable getting in and out of those things. But yeah, as far as supercars go, I mean, it felt like just a wonderful, comfortable luxury car. But man, that thing has
a luxury car with teeth.
That thing can go.
Yeah, it really comes alive. A McLaren is distinctive amongst supercars. You've got a lot of Italian supercars like the one behind us, but McLaren distinctly English. A place where perfection is something that is sought after obsessively. I've actually talked to some people at the McLaren factory that actually have kind of, issues with things not being so perfect, where they can't leave the house, without checking the oven to make sure it's off 4 or 5 times because of that obsessive search for perfection.
And
like that lap. I mean, that was.
So yeah, that was primo. I mean, it was dirty, but otherwise it was perfect.
But we didn't wreck it. We stayed on track. The car really translates well in Forza 7. You can hear that engine just come alive. That car will make you a hero.
Yeah. So you guys watching online, you saw the car list. I'll run through it again while John's playing because you may have missed it in the if you missed the trailer. We've got the McLaren 720S, of course. We've got the Ferrari 812 Superfast, which is the car that's right behind us. We're going to drive that one last because we're going to take a tour of the car as well. Yeah. We've got the 2017 Vool. I hope I'm pronouncing that right.
Should we drive that next?
Yeah, let's do the Vool next. Vool 05RR. The 2018 Exomotive Exocet Sport V8 XP5, which is a mouthful, let me tell you. I can't believe I got that out first time. The 2018 KTM Crossroad GT4, which I love. And a couple of classics in the 1964 Porsche 904 Carrera GTS and the 58 Alfa Romeo Giulia Sport Veloce.
Yeah. Now let's, if you guys participated in the clue thread that we published last week, you probably got it since we gave away, we kind of gave away that the Superfast was coming. We definitely gave away that the 720S was coming. So clue-wise, the 720S was obviously the clue about Tony Hawk doing the first thing, doing it cool the first time, and the 720S being way cooler. The clue now that we're dealing with here with Vool is that this is an acronym, for awesome. So VUHL. Brian, what does VUHL stand for?
Actually, according to this write-up from a well-known car expert, this write-up says Vool actually stands for Vehicles of Ultralight and High Performance.
Now that's weird English, but it definitely means awesome.
Okay. Yeah.
At least I'm going to run with that.
There's the Vool. So we're going to Rio in the Vool.
Yeah, that's where they send us, so I thought I would just kind of let Forza 7 guide us where they think these cars will be best.
Okay.
And it's hard to argue that Rio would be awesome in a topless, ultra-high performance track toy / exotic. I don't know. This is a car that it certainly competes with all of the track toys, and then it also competes with your hypercars and your Superfast, your 720S. Probably not as comfortable as the Superfast, but something that's going to give you just an intuitive drive.
How much exposure there is in that cockpit. It's like
gonna get some bugs in your teeth.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to brush after these laps.
That's right.
One of the things I noticed about Vool as I was researching them is that they really have an attention to detail as far as like having everything in the right place. It's a very simplistic design. You're not going to find,
including the steering wheel, according to some people, depending on where you live. It's in the right place, literally.
That's right.
You nailed that one. This car debuted at at Goodwood, where you basically got the top car connoisseurs in the world, talking about the awesome cars, and there was a huge initial response to this car. And now it's been out for 3 or 4 years, and this is an evolution of the original. But there's just not a lot more that they can do to it. They've made it as light as it can be. They've added 100 horsepower. And kept all the components in the right places.
That's sort of the point of this car, is remove everything non-essential, add as much power as you can, and let the driver deal with it.
Yeah,
what's
this is a
cockpit view look
driver's
like,
car.
Johnny?
I'm sorry?
What's cockpit view look like? I don't want you to crash. We're going into the tunnel.
You gotta use the select button. There you go.
There we go. seating made me crash. That wasn't my fault.
Sorry.
No.
No, but very good on the cockpit view. You had a good way to.
It's actually like, look how much
a lot of
open
carbon.
space you've got there.
Yeah, no windshield. You need to wear a helmet to drive this car in public.
I would think
But this
so.
is a car that's mostly going to be probably, this is going to see a lot of track days and the occasional, dinner out, possibly, depending on who you are.
Maybe if you're in Rio. where
If
the
you're,
weather's
in
nice.
Rio, yeah. It's a top-down, all-the-time car.
That's commitment. That's commitment.
I see this car, I don't know, it's not out yet, but it seems like a car that would be a leaderboard car because it's so light. It's got so much power. With the right tune on something like this, I don't see how you couldn't put in your best lap times.
Look, you even lightened it more because you took off the rear view mirror over there. It's
Oh,
now
it's
even
lighter.
lighter.
It
That's
is lighter.
cool.
It's built
I don't
for
need a rearview mirror.
Even
I
more
don't-
performance.
I don't want that over there.
I love it. So, how would you describe this car from a driver's point of view? I imagine kind of twitchy.
A little twitchy. It's very, very subjective to the inputs that I'm giving it. It wants to respond faster than my fingers can actually respond. But it's also predictable. I'm not. I mean, I hit the wall there when I was being talked to, but that's my fault. Other than that, I'd say this car just is going to let you be the best driver you can be, because there's just.
Oh, we forgot about that turn.
Right there. There's the best I can be.
Just like some of these guys in multiplayer.
But it's got an incredible power to weight ratio. You've got great visibility, obviously. And it's a real special model. If you're a guy that, plays Forza and is proud of, knowing a lot about cars, most of the people you probably talk to don't know what a Vool is.
That's right.
And so if you could talk about a car like this around the water cooler, you probably get some extra credit.
Well, what's interesting to me in the write-up that you have is that this, I would have not guessed that this is a street legal car, but here we are. This is a street legal track toy, essentially.
Yeah, barely. I mean, that means that they made a place for you to put a license plate on it, and that it technically has bumpers.
And brake lights.
Yeah.
And brake lights.
Yeah.
I wouldn't imagine that most people buying this car are going to spend a lot of time on the street. Maybe driving to a car show occasionally, but it's not going to be really comfortable. It's not a car you're going to take on a road trip. This is a car that's meant to make you be a hero at the racetrack.
Yep.
And give you the most out of your dollar as far as performance. So, but if I owned one, I'd daily it.
I would daily it too. We're seeing a lot of votes for people who want to see the Exocet next, the Exomotive Exocet. We've also got the, what are the others? The Alfa Romeo, the Crossbow GT4, the Carrera GTS 904. We're going to go through each of these cars.
We can jump into another one right now.
You want to jump into the Exocet next?
Yeah. Forza set me up with 3 laps. I think 2 laps is probably enough at Rio to show off that car.
It's like a track toy segment right here.
Yeah. I mean, look at how many track toys are in here. We got 2 hyper exotic cars.
That's right.
And 3 track toys?
Track to 3. Yeah.
The Exocet, the Vool, and
the Crossbow.
And the Crossbow.
Yeah.
Don't you always want to say Expo?
I do.
I do.
I mean,
I do.
it just
There's a
that's
big
what
X
it's written
there.
there, but it's not. It's
well,
not. It's Crossbow.
We don't call it the crossbox.
Yeah, that's weird.
That's right.
So.
Yeah. Okay. Well, then let's go to the Exocet.
Okay. Awesome.
What track do you guys want to see the Exocet on? This is a little track toy. Another tube frame, essentially, with a monster in the hood, under the hood that doesn't exist.
It's a super-powered go-kart is what it really is. Basically, it takes the components of a Miata, a Mazda Miata, which is a car that you can drive at 1010s all the time. It's the car that everybody loves. And
They're saying Bernese Alps. They want to see it on Alps.
Okay, Alps we go then. But basically, it's a steel tube frame kit car that uses the Mazda Miata components, and then everything except the engine and transmission, which is fun in a Miata.
Right.
But this thing stuffs a huge LS motor in there with the T56 transmission and a Cadillac CTS-V rear end. So you're talking about a V8 powered, absolutely stripped Mazda Miata. So it's all wrong.
It's all wrong, and it's all so right.
So right.
Yep.
So we're going to the Bernese Alps in an Exocet. I doubt that if that would ever happen. Not that the Bernese Alps actually exists, but
They're saying your mic is dead.
What's that?
They're saying John's mic's dead.
Oh. We need help with
Sorry,
John's
guys.
mic. John's mic is not working. Anyway, I will talk while John drives. This is a tube frame Miata with a Corvette engine. that's pretty much it, right? I mean, that's all you need to know about. That's pretty much all you need to know about the Exocet. We're going to get John's mics fixed, but right now we are going to the Bernese Alps in the Exocet. It's probably a good time to turn to you, Chris. And I know we want to talk about the July update. I want to get to that, but I want to talk about this pack in general because, as you said, maybe the greatest pack in Forza history.
Absolutely.
How do we? There's so many great choices for a Top Gear pack. Can you talk about how? Because we worked with Top Gear this time around.
Yeah,
for this pack.
this time we actually worked directly with Top Gear to build out all the different options for the car list here. And so they actually actively chose a bunch of these cars with us, and specifically to really show off things like the Top Gear track. Like, what is this going to be like, and what is kind of the heart of Top Gear. And a lot of these things is really just getting to the track and having fun in these things.
Yeah.
And so you can see a lot of that coming out in the majority of this pack is really just kind of like modern GT race cars, supercars, track toys. It's what would the Stig be driving?
That's right.
So,
That's right.
That's
nice recovery.
Nice.
Reverse entry.
What?
I meant to do that.
Whoa.
Hey,
now you're just showing off.
This is just I'm just having fun. Here.
Okay,
now you're
John's
just showing
mic should
off.
be back, so we're good. He's just having fun.
Look at this thing.
Well, you can even see your oil
this thing
dipstick
has
while you're driving.
a lot of power.
How many times can you see your oil dipstick while you're driving your car?
That's true,
That's pretty
huh?
cool.
Yeah.
Wow. How many times can you drop the clutch in fourth gear at 97 miles an hour and break the tires loose?
That's right. Spinning the tires at
this.
third.
I'm scared right now. This is a car
No, we want to see you push this thing. I
It's
know bad things might happen, but they want to see you go nuts in this thing.
Okay, well, I will try to go nuts. I'm already a little nuts, so...
Wow, it looks like it's going to keep pulling and pulling and pulling.
Yeah, listen
and
to that.
pulling.
Listen to the V8. I'm scared.
This thing's great. Going uphill is going to be a ball. Oh,
got
look at
like-
that thing. Oh, it
so
just
it's got
doesn't want to...
Reverse entry again. Come on. Oh, no. I pushed it too hard. It really...
Good thing you're in a roll cage.
That's right.
The car is nothing but a roll cage.
Pretty much.
And that's awesome. Just let me look at there. Like John was saying, the engine is right there. You can see it the whole time. I imagine some people who build these kit cars, they might put some sort of, body panels on it. But this is you've heard of naked sport bikes?
Yeah.
This is a naked track toy.
I was going to say, this is probably the closest thing to a sport bike on four wheels that you're going to get to the experience of being on a sport bike, right?
Yeah, and this
Super
is
exposed.
I don't know. Can you make this street legal? Is this actually street legal? I never researched that.
I don't know.
I don't look
can't
it.
imagine that it is. It doesn't have any. It's just it's a frame rail car with a huge V8. If you were to drive this on the road, I would just recommend being very careful.
Well, as you say in your write-up, the power-to-weight ratio puts the Exocet in the hypercar performance class.
Yeah.
So that alone tells me it's probably not a good idea to get this on the streets with like people who don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, only in Forza, and this is where you can truly appreciate a car like this in Forza because there's no consequences, right? You might lose the race if you crash, but you can experience this car, this crazy power to weight ratio that I'm just trying to reel in a little bit, and and it's a video game, right? So you're not going to die.
Give it to it right here.
Listen to that thing just climb.
Oh,
That's
man.
fourth, and the braking responses. The first lap around, I was a little,
A little on the
a
power.
little daunting to feel that much horsepower with so little weight. It just doesn't even sound right. You're in such a small car, and to hear that huge V8.
Yeah.
It feels like, and looks, sounds, performs like the result of a mad scientist. It was like Frankensteining all the best bits in his garage. He's like, I've got this Corvette engine and this two-frame chassis, and I will stick them together and strike lightning.
Yeah, go there. Absolutely.
And
it's a Franken kit.
Yeah.
I would have to say that is, I don't know if that word exists out there, but this is definitely a Franken kit of a track toy.
That's not a one-off, though, right? I mean,
No,
was
this
it a
is-
limited run?
This is a kit.
Or
You
like-
buy the frame,
Oh, it is a
then you
kit.
go out
Okay,
and buy
yeah.
a donor Miata.
All right.
And the buy your LS motor. And you really put whatever motor you want in it, right? This package.
So if this is too much for you, you could put a Subaru,
Slaps is asking, how do you paint this thing? Very tiny little images on the frame there.
Well, I guess it's like the aerial nomad in
That's
that
right.
way, right? Where you
Yeah.
just have some bars and
Maybe
bars and stripes.
Maybe stripe it. Yep, you could do that.
Change the view here a little
So
bit.
we'll have a livery challenge around it.
Yeah, that's right. Who can do the tiniest livery across one of the tubes there?
do we let
That's
you
your
paint the
challenge.
fuel tank? Probably.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good point. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or the wing.
Well, yeah, there's your look at the
Wow.
Exomotive Exocet. I'm being told we should look at one more car.
Okay.
And I'm thinking if we're going to look at one more car before we get to the super fast, it should probably be the Crossbow.
Okay, yeah, we can totally go there. Let's stop this right now.
Not the Expo.
I'm going to keep saying
Expo.
Crossbow until the KTM people put the roof snipers on me. I'm going to call it the Crossbow.
It's been a while since we first added the original Crossbow.
That's right.
So this is a nice follow-up to that.
And this is
it's more
such
extreme.
a different car.
Yeah, very
Such a
different. It feels more like a race car than a track toy because it's got the cockpit cover and all that. So.
I would say it feels more like a jet fighter.
Yeah, there you go.
Looking at it from inside out, this thing is a jet fighter for the road.
Where do you want us to drive the KTM Crossbow GT4? Let us know in the chat, and we will go to that track.
I'd say Laguna Seca.
Laguna Seca would be a good choice.
Dangerous.
Okay.
Look at Sushi X with the Xbox bow in the mixer chat. I love it. Very nice.
Okay, so Laguna Seca it is.
Laguna Seca.
That's just a suggestion. But
We're not going to go to the Nordschleife. We don't have that
Mazda.
kind of time. Guys. We still got news to break here.
Okay, and 2 laps.
Let's do 2 laps of Laguna, then we'll do the Ferrari, and then we'll take a tour of the real thing.
Sounds good.
Good to talk about track limits since we're going to Laguna.
What's that?
I said good to be talking about track limits when we go to Laguna.
Oh.
Because,
Yeah.
That might be
still a thing.
Yeah.
We're still working on that.
Yeah, we're
Chris
still
Sasaki.
working on it. Yeah. If we want to start chatting about some of the new stuff coming, I would be happy to dive in.
I think we can. So you guys know when we do an update, it's not just a car pack, right? We have all sorts of features that we've been putting into the game, especially over the last few years, for the last few months in particular with Forza Motorsport 7. July's no different.
July is no different.
Of course, we have some great cars. We have not 1 but 2 spotlight cars coming up in July. We'll show those off a little bit later.
Fantastic ones, too.
Fantastic
I mean,
cars.
seriously, if you guys are blown away by this car pack, just wait till we show off the 2 free
one
spotlight
of them's
cars.
been
This is
asked for a very long time.
And free. So
yes.
You just got to play the game. So don't worry. We'll get to that. We're going to get to the new stuff. But Chris, some important changes coming to Forza Motorsport 7 with how people collect cars in the game. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so in the July update that's coming out next week, I believe it's the 10th.
The 10th.
One of the biggest things that that we're changing this time around. This is going to affect everyone and affect even FRC, Forza Race Series Championship, and all the hoppers and everything like that. All of the cars that have been previously locked away within career progression in some way will now be fully unlocked for a car purchase all throughout the game.
Wow.
So let me be clear about this. The Forza Edition cars, or the FE cars, will still be locked behind some type of progression rewards and that sort of thing. But every single other car in the game that was previously locked behind some progression criteria, like finishing this race but with this criteria or doing something within campaign, they will now be all unlocked for purchase. There's still a car tier collection progression system there that I think once you hit collection tier 5, you can basically buy all the legendary cars. But that takes maybe a half an hour of play.
And cars will still cost in-game credits.
That's right.
You
That's
still have
right.
to purchase them.
That's right. We don't have tokens. We don't have anything like that.
Removed now.
Right.
How do I get to this point?
This has been one of the biggest things that people have been complaining about since the game came out, and we've heard you guys for the longest time, and we've just tried to figure out ways to make this work. We've looked at the economy, we've looked at all the other effects in the game, and after looking at all the other knock-on effects that are going to happen, it's going to be unlocked for everyone, and for all of the progression that was used to. I'm sorry, all the cars that used to be locked. I mean, it's all there.
Yep. Cool.
Come July 10th. So, and I mentioned this before. This affects things like hoppers.
Right.
Right. Before, we wouldn't put up a hopper, like a custom-made hopper, or even things with Forza Race Championship. So we would not put some car that was locked behind progression because we couldn't guarantee that anyone had that car.
Right.
But now that they're all unlocked, we can have, I believe 118 cars or so that are now unlocked for purchasing. That's going to affect everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll see those cars everywhere now. You'll see them in Forza RC.
That's awesome.
So yeah, it's something that I've been wanting to do for the longest time. The team's been wanting to do for the longest time, and we're finally doing it. And one of the biggest things about this change is now all these cars are available.
Yeah.
What about the money?
Right.
What about the ability to get them?
Now,
I need
Chris.
some money. Yeah. So that's where we're looking at all these ways to basically juice credits into the economy in the next couple months. So we have a lot of additional news coming next week, the week after, even a month from now, as this kind of pertains to what the economy looks like, how we're gifting credits to everyone, how the first couple hours of play, the first week of play, the first 2 weeks, how that all looks in terms of car acquisition. It's going to be dramatically different. I mean, basically night and day from when we started.
Fantastic.
So yeah, massive change for us, and really looking forward to see how the community responds to that.
I love that because it's exactly one of the big things the community's been talking about. Why can't I get my hands on this car that you put in the game?
Right.
Why are you putting it behind a Forzathon event? Why are you putting it behind a Rivals event?
Yes, and we used to have some of those things behind price crates.
Right.
So one of the changes that is coming along with this pack, this CU, is that all cars will now be removed from price crates. You will not be able to get a single car from a price crate anymore going forward. It's all direct purchase. It'll all just be, hey, I got the money, I'm going to buy that car.
Everything's available. You can buy the cars you want to buy, drive the cars you want to drive. It's great news.
Like the Volkswagen bus.
Yes, the VW bus.
Made me wait so long for that. You meanie.
Time, right?
Yes. Although there are a couple other cars.
Well, no, it was in specialty dealer at one point.
Oh,
It
yes.
just got into specialty dealer.
So
recently.
we also are changing up how specialty dealer is going to be working. We'll have more news about that when that goes live. But obviously, if one of the reasons why you go to specialty dealer was you can only find the cars there. Well, obviously now they're unlocked. We'll be changing up what that looks like. Yeah.
Well,
how was the crossbow?
yeah, we didn't even talk about the crossbow. How was it?
It looked rippy.
You missed it. Forget you guys. No, it was awesome. Had a great clue about that car. There was 4 movies, and so the relevant clue element in there was that all those movies had a crossbow in them.
Oh.
Deliverance, zombie movies, Johnny Mnemonic. Okay. All right. I love my clues. Whatever. The car was awesome. It was exactly. I mean, look at this car. I don't need to tell you
How about
that
did
was
you get the
awesome to
Osterman
drive.
Weekend? That had a crossbow.
What's that?
The Osterman Weekend.
I didn't use that one. There's actually, surprisingly, there's like 200 some movies that have crossbows in them. I just picked 4 that made no sense. But just one look at this car. I mean, seriously, it looks like it's a race
like a
car.
rocket ship.
It's a race car. These cars are raced. The one thing that they did improve, aside from the cabin, KTM really couldn't do anything else to the car aside from make it cheaper to drive. So they added some reliability to some things, making some things super heavy duty that weren't as heavy duty as they could have possibly been. So that was the main improvement in the performance of the car, because this car is raced in the VLN series at Nürburgring and in series like the Pirelli World Challenge. And racing is obviously very expensive, so if you can add more durability, reliability, you get cheaper racing. So
question from Screamies, did you just kill off Forzathons? We did not kill off Forzathons.
Actually,
we did not kill off Specialty Dealer. Those things are still going to exist in the game.
That's right. The funny thing about that is actually it's the opposite.
Right.
We're investing more and more into Forzathons. As I was talking about with credit rewards and that sort of thing going forward with all of these car unlocks, I need some cash. I need some credits. You'll actually start seeing some Forzathons with credit rewards that'll kind of be up all the time, evergreen.
Right.
And that'll help kind of juice the system with a bunch of new credits, so that'll help a lot.
And Forza Edition cars will still be in there.
So here's the thing. I did see a couple questions around Forza Edition cars being able to be purchased or whatnot and how that works, and I'll answer that in just a sec, as well as some of the unicorn cars. So I'll address those 2 things right now.
Great.
Forza Edition cars will not be purchasable directly. We will not offer them up in any other way. They will be given out via events. They will be given out for completing certain things in campaign. So they're special cars. They're not our list of almost 800 cars now.
Right.
That these Forza Edition cars are super, super special, and those things you guys are going to have to earn. There are a bunch of events, and those are kind of badges of honor. They're special cars. So they won't be up for availability in the specialty dealer or things like that.
Right.
Which brings me to the unicorn cars. I think someone actually specifically called out unicorn cars. We've called unicorn cars that don't show up in the car list. They're not there, but people know that they're there.
Right, they're there. But
they're there. They're invisible. They're unicorns. In fact, it's funny. The car that I drive, my car, which is a 2007 BMW M Coupe.
Okay.
The 2008 Z4M is one of the unicorns.
That's right.
That will remain a unicorn. Not because it's my car and you can't have it. I actually wanted it the other way because I would like to drive my car in my game. But there are still a couple of unicorns that will be out there, and that is one of them. And there'll be a bunch more events around those things, so they'll be much more in the wild and they'll be more accessible.
More available. And
Yes.
Unicorn Cars has been a part of Forza since I've
Absolutely.
been here.
Yeah.
So yes, I'm glad to hear that we are unlocking a bunch of cars, making them available. People want to see these cars, they want to play them. But there'll still be some special stuff that you got to earn.
That's right, and that's really where most of these Forza Edition cars will live and why they're there, and we'll actually, as we've been talking about Forza Edition cars, we've been investing a lot more in the future of Forza Edition cars and what that looks like. So more to talk about that.
More to talk about. Meanwhile, we are looking at the gorgeous Ferrari 812 Superfast, John Iwana.
Is it super fast?
Yes,
Is it
dude,
super
it
fast?
is.
That's
It
the
is
first question.
seriously super fast.
You're kind of being drifty with it.
I was getting a little drifty though. I mean, a car like this, a car with 800 horsepower and rear-wheel drive, and a monstrous V12 up front, it does beg to be drifted. Most people that probably own them, probably not drifting them so much. But another one of the great things that Forza allows you to do is just things you might not ever do in the real world. If you're going to drive this car in the real world in the first place, that'd be one thing. But to get a chance to burn the tires off of it, well, that's what I like to do.
Yeah, I think you could probably afford some new tires.
Yeah, you can afford the thing the tires rest upon.
Cost is not really a concern here, but this car, I can't wait to take a look at. We've got the real thing right behind us here, and that's what I've been the most excited for. This car, I'd say this leads off the Top Gear car pack, but we're going to finish up this lap here, and then we're going to take a look at the real thing right behind us here, and you can make your comparisons then. And,
Chris, you were going to say?
Yeah, I'm just trying to. I'm reading through both Twitch and Mixer chat, and I just wanted to address some of those questions. Specifically, there's some confusion around our terminology around lock cars and unicorn cars and that sort of thing. I just want to be really clear.
Yep.
The lock cars are mostly the cars that were, if you go and play the career mode, if you finish a certain series or meet certain criteria in this series or that sort of thing, you'll sometimes be rewarded with a car.
Yep.
And a lot of those cars are the ones that people will just want to go and race, and were locked because you haven't completed that race or that series or whatever that was within career. All of those cars are unlocked now.
Is that like the F40 Competizione?
Absolutely.
Which I've been wanting to drive in this week's league, but I can't because I haven't got to that part of the game.
there you
saying
go.
on July 10th when the league is over.
That's right.
There goes the tail.
But I get it. No, that's cool, though. This car's like that.
Yes, cars like that, absolutely. And then unicorn cars, yes, there are only two right now. And that is correct. I actually saw someone call that out. It is the BMW and the MG.
MG, that's right. That's Alan's car.
That's
the boss's
Alan's
car.
Yeah.
So thank you for that clarification. John, finish this lap up. I want to go walk
banging
around.
your
All right. Chris was talking, so I was just trying to go a little bit slower and stretch it
I
out.
hope you don't bang up the one behind us.
Oh,
man.
Badly as you banged up that.
No consequences.
Okay.
No stylish finish, just across
There
the
might
line.
be consequences for scratching up this one.
I'd have to say I was a little bit, I'm thinking about what
Exciting.
we're doing next here. Yes.
All right, listen, we're going to take a quick break, and then John and I are going to give you guys a tour of this gorgeous 812 Superfast from Ferrari of Seattle, who are so kind to bring this by and bring it to our studio. So stand by. We've got some cool shots of the car, and we will be right back with a tour of the 812 Superfast. And we're back standing next to this gorgeous piece of Italian fine art, John Iwana. This is incredible. The 812 Superfast, I'm going to turn it over to you. Where do we start with a car like this?
Well, I think with a car like this, you start right what I'm standing next to. And this is, of course, a front-engine Ferrari. It's not your 458, your 488, that mid-engine awesomeness. This is a front engine with a V12. It's all right here. 800 horsepower, okay? 800 horsepower, more than enough to do 211 miles an hour, more than enough to do 0 to 60 in less than 3 seconds. In a car that weighs, well, look at it, it's big. This is a big car that will do 0 to 60 in less than 3 seconds.
And this car has quite a legacy behind it too, right?
And this car has an awesome legacy. The super fast is not only super fast, but it's a re-rendition of the original super fast, a car they made in the late 1960s, a car they made 36 models of, a car that had 400 horsepower, ridiculous for the time, a car that did 475 miles an hour, 175 miles an hour in the 1960s. This car doubles that horsepower rating to over 800 and does over 200 miles an hour. Not as exclusive, but amazing. And this color here, this color is a very special color. You had to custom order this, and the Ferrari dealership actually custom ordered this color that goes back to one of the colors that was originally available on one of those 36 cars that people like Peter Sellers, Inspector Clouseau, the Pink Panther, owned back in that time. So yeah, just take a look at it. I mean, this car is just a rolling mass of just form that just calls to the eyes.
But it definitely has design cues from earlier models, right? You see a lot of the F12 here.
Absolutely. Well, the Superfast is the replacement, if you will, for the F12. There's a lot of new changes to the body and upgrades, but this is the replacement to the F12 series, now called the Superfast, going back to that previous model from the past. And if we want to, we should look at what's under the hood. This car is special looking, but
let's take a trip around the back.
Okay,
and then we'll get set up, because yes, we are going to do something we've never done yet on Forza Monthly, and that is start the car.
Yep, we had the McLaren here last month, and it was a beautiful thing to have the McLaren here, but we didn't really get to look at some of the special stuff. And we're going to go under the hood, and we're going to show off the motor here. There's a little latch there.
I'll stand right here
to pop the hood, and I do know how to open this hood now. It's a pretty amazing thing. Where's the little thingy? Where's the thingy? There it is. Up we go. And voila, what a reveal is that? Look at that. You're not going to see that every day. I mean, you're not going to see a car like this. And if you do, you're probably not going to get to see under the hood unless you're at a car show. That's an 800 horsepower V12. It's a beautiful thing to look at. But to hear it is quite another thing. And we're going to do that next. That's another first here. This is the first time, I mean, when you have a beautiful car like this here on your show, you can't just let it sit in the background and look pretty. You got to let people experience it, and that's what I'm trying to do right now. So,
I'm just going to get out of the way. You do your thing.
Did you get your earphones or your
I've
earplugs?
got them. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I've got them. I'm ready to go.
This is a thing of beauty to hear. A Ferrari, obviously a very beautiful car to look at. To hear, quite another thing. So we're going to press the brake. We're going to press the start button. There's a little startup sequence here on the dash. It's pretty awesome. Everything lights up, and
"'Tis the sound of music, my ears hear. Are you ready?"
That's 4,000 RPM. That's 5,000. Yeah. That's in race mode. So this thing has several different modes, of course. Race mode lets you hear the car a little bit more. I hope you like that. My ears are all right. Are your ears all right? I hope they are. Yeah. Thank you, Ferrari of Seattle, for giving us this opportunity to experience this car. I'm going to drive it home now. I wish. I'll see you back on the couch.
Well, there you go. I'm fired. Well, how about that, guys? That was a little bit.
was
My
a
ears are
Ferrari.
still ringing.
I
in a
don't
good
know
way.
how we follow that up with anything.
Well, we followed up with even more awesome cars.
Yes, yes. So there's a couple more cars in the car pack you probably saw in the trailer, the incredibly awesome trailer. Thanks to our media team who does such incredible work. Love the trailer. So yes, in addition to the supercars, in addition to the track toys, there are a couple classics in here. This is, of course, a classic race car, the Porsche 904.
Yep. Beautiful.
Beautiful car. We're not going to take this one on track. We'll let you discover that one on your own. And then we do have one more classic that's in the Top Gear car pack. And let's go back over to that real quick. You might have noticed something when I was in the Porsche.
Did anybody see that?
Did you see that?
Free frames.
You know,
I don't see anybody in the
We're all about the
comments.
tees. We're all about the tees. So
What happened?
let's just take a look here. Take a look here. Alfa Romeo fans just wet their pants. This is a beauty right here. The 1958 Alfa Romeo Giulia Spider Veloce. All of 90 horsepower, but enough horsepower to make lifetime fans of that brand, and a brand that has more racing provenance than
I think
possibly
Rossi,
any.
I think Rossi saw it.
Any car. So there we go. There's the last two cars of your Top Gear car pack.
Rossi saw one of the Porsches. He nailed it.
What
anyway,
did you see? Did you see?
Oh,
this?
What?
Or this?
Did you see the 917?
Okay. Let's just go. Let's go right
Let's
to
go.
dessert. Let's have dessert.
Let's go to
first.
dessert time. So, as you heard Chris and I talking earlier, we've got two Spotlight cars this month. In July. Coming to all Forza players, Forza 7 players.
It is Porsche month.
It is Porsche month.
It is our Porsche month.
So we have this, John Iwana, the pink pig.
Yeah, the Porsche 917. This is where we all get to say, we heard you, because when people talk about Porsches they wanted in the game, the 917 is what people wanted. I was fortunate enough to actually be out at the racetrack this weekend where there was a Porsche 917, amazingly enough, and heard the thing. It has one of the only true boxer engines. And what I learned that is, if you got a camera on me, a boxer engine goes like this. Most engines go like this. They don't go any further at a flat 12. This is a boxer engine. It goes like this. What does it look like? It looks like I'm boxing. Okay. Thank you, John Knowles, for the great
good dance
analogy
move
there.
too.
So this has a V12, a 12 boxer
Flat
engine.
12.
And it's the pink pig.
Well, let's get this thing on the track.
Okay.
I don't want to not put this thing on the track during the show.
Now, didn't a 911 just
and I think we go
race
to
Le Mans with
Le Mans? Okay.
Don't we go to Le Mans
Sure.
here?
Didn't the 911 just race Le Mans with the pink, an homage to the pink peg
Did
livery?
it?
I think so.
I don't know. Could have.
Now, this car did race. This actual car that we have in Forza did race at Le Mans.
Okay.
It was kind of a test car. They were testing out a lot of aerodynamics and a lot of things, and it turned out that the aerodynamic kit they had on that car made it so much faster it blew up the brakes. And
Of course it did.
And the brakes blew up, and the car crashed, so it did not finish. But it was rebuilt and has forever been known as what does it start with? L? Are we looking for L?
Yeah,
there we go.
There we go.
L.
Let's do the old Le Mans too, because it would have driven without the chicanes, right?
Oh yes,
Yes, it would have.
So
and this car was of an era where they were trying to slow down the cars,
Right.
Because they were going ridiculously fast.
Yes, 240 mile an hour down the straight.
What they ended up doing was making cars that were faster, though.
That's right. Yeah. That's
So we have an
slowed
upgrade.
everything
This one will not come with brake failure.
down. Hey,
Yes.
that's right.
There you go.
Yeah, that's
and should the
right.
brakes fail, you'll walk away, get a root beer, and be right back.
You restart the game. That's the beauty of Forza.
What's your favorite cut on this car? I have to ask.
the Vama, the Shinka. There's so many good cuts of meat on this Porsche. I love this livery too. Is there a story behind this livery?
Oh, I don't know all the
It's
story
like the
about
butcher's
it.
cut livery or something.
Yeah, it's the pink pig. The car. If you can't tell, those aren't just a dotted lines and a bunch of German words.
Yeah.
This is like if you were to butcher a pig, which is a horrible thing to think about.
Well, some pigs
These are
deserve it.
the best cuts, and they put it on there as kind of a joke. So if you could read German, I'm sure some of our German fans out there can tell you that there's a lot of bacon in this car.
Yeah,
that is a
this
good
car is
thing.
all about the bacon.
I think the original name had something to do with a truffle hunter.
Yeah, that's
I'm
like
serious.
It
was
Get
it
your
was
snout
something
in
about
there.
Yeah, it was about a truffle hunter.
Okay, I believe it.
Hey, piggy. 917 is it's in my top 5 favorite cars of all time, and I'm just so happy this is finally coming to FX7.
Oh, it's if you look closely, you can see this sort of rotating bit there. The centerpiece at the top of the car is rotating.
That's the fan.
That's the fan. It's rotating.
It's blowing hot, cold air down onto the engine.
Yeah, it's the only thing keeping that thing.
So,
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just looking at chat here. We got track limits and drift questions.
Track limits, we're still working on it, guys. We will have an update soon.
That's right. I mean, we have so many updates. Even so, a lot of questions around expansions and that sort of thing. Look, we are shipping some of the meatiest DLC expansions, CU, whatever you want to call them. This month, next month, the month after, they're all bigger than we've ever shipped before.
That's right.
There's just so many new features coming out even just this next week.
Yep.
And we'll be talking about a lot of those shortly. We talked about the car unlocks. That's one of the major things.
Yep.
Of course, our whole new Spotlight program. With all of these new free cars, this is just a fantastic month with Porsche.
Yep.
This car and the next one we'll be talking about. We have a lot of new events for them. We'll be lighting up hoppers and leagues and some leaderboards around them, so that'll be awesome. But yeah, so new limit lines and
new limits in general.
New limits in general, yeah. The new limits, the new visualizations of all of that. The wiping of all the well, not really the wiping of leaderboards, but the addition of time attack, and that all coming back. That's lighting up super soon, super soon. But in particular, I did want to talk to. I've seen so many people asking, and I hear you guys asking about things like drift angle upgrades, the drift kits, and that sort of thing. So we've taken a lot of the changes that Horizon's been putting in, and we've integrated a lot of these new physics changes. We're pretty sure. Don't 100% quote me on this because it's not quite through cert yet. But next month, August, not July, August.
I'm rubbing my hands in anticipation.
That's when we're looking to light up things like all of the new drift integrations, along with the new scoring around the drift kits.
Yep.
And I did want to confirm one thing, since we're asking about details, and I do want to be detail oriented. The drift kit will allow you to. It's very similar to what they've done in Horizon. We've taken a lot of those changes. It has to do with stance. It has to deal with drift angle. We actually allow you to upgrade and change. You can actually change how much the max angle you want up to 60 degrees.
Wow.
So that's where we're going right now.
That's crazy.
And we have taken some of those Horizon changes that allow you to go back and forth from lock to lock quicker.
Yep.
It makes the whole drifting experience a lot more accessible and delivering to tons of the drift community what they've been looking for. And I can't wait because it feels so good.
Oh, man.
So good.
Such good news. I hope you guys appreciate that. We should be very clear. That's not part of July. It's coming very soon, but it is not part of the July update.
Yes.
So what is in the July update?
This free Porsche.
But this free Porsche is. Yes.
Yeah,
this
absolutely.
is. One thing we didn't mention, Chris, is we've got a new option for lobby hosts now.
Yes, that's
Let's talk about that.
We've been investing a whole lot in our multiplayer.
Right.
And
Nice.
as you guys know, there's been a ton of new updates into multiplayer the last 3 or 4 CUs.
Yep.
This one comes with the ability for all lobby hosts to kick anyone from the lobby. So that should help private lobbies to.
Let's be clear. During the middle of a race.
During the middle of a race.
Right.
That is correct. So it should help mitigate some of the griefing that happens.
Yeah. So you've always been able to vote people out of lobbies, but now if you're a private lobby host, in the middle of a race, if somebody's acting up,
get out of here.
Boot them immediately. So if you're a lobby host, you now will have that power with the July update. One more way we're trying to make the multiplayer experience better before race regulations get here, before those new track limits get here. We're continuously trying to make that a little bit better for everyone. Here's the other one, John. Here's the other Porsche.
Look at that guy.
Another free Porsche.
Kind of the other end of the spectrum, if you will. This is, might not entirely look like it, but this is a street car.
Yep.
This is the Gt3 RS, the brand new Gt3 RS. 2018.
2018?
Gt3 RS.
I think it's 2019.
Is it 2019?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Oh, I don't think we have it here.
Brand new.
It's
brand
new.
new. It's green. It's very, very green. And
very.
Now you're gonna. People don't know. It took me a while to figure out what's the difference between a GT2 and a GT3 RS.
One.
Just
one.
Math
digit.
guy. Math guy. Nice answer though.
Yeah.
Correct. The difference is also 140 horsepower. There's turbos in a GT2 RS. A GT3 is naturally aspirated. Otherwise, the cars are basically the same. And you might have to say 500 horsepower in this car is perfect.
Yeah.
If you're an artful driver, if you are a race driver, you can probably get more out of more horsepower in a car like this. The average person is going to find that 500 horsepower in a GT3 RS is just perfect.
Well, I say we get it on the track.
Which track would you guys like to see it?
Where do you want to see the GT3 RS? There's really no wrong answer here. Circuit of the Americas.
Circuit of the Americas, Dubai.
Oh, Dubai might be
Dubai,
nice.
since that was kind of the GT2
Yeah,
RS.
GT2
Dubai
RS,
was
I can
part
see
of
that.
So
We already did Brazil, Everton, so we're not going to do Rio again.
Go back if you want to see Rio.
We've already shown it.
No, I mean if he wants to.
How about
go
Watkins
back.
Glen?
Ooh, Watkins?
Well, was that too long?
Hockenheim. We're
If you
seeing a
wanna
lot
show
of votes for Hockenheim here.
Hockenheim. Oh, okay, yeah, it's German.
Hockenheim's
The German
good, yeah.
car.
Auf Deutsch.
Yeah,
Okay,
pick
Deutschland.
Hockenheim.
Let's do what? 2 laps? Two
Yeah.
laps? You think?
Sure. Why
All right,
not?
2 laps in the GT3 RS.
Do I get to do a lap?
Remind people how much free stuff you're getting this month.
Man,
I mean, if you have a car pass, wow.
you are getting.
Well, and you get these. You get this Porsche and the Pig without a car pass.
That's right.
Correct.
These
The
and
Spotlight.
you're getting the 2 Porsches for free. the 917 in this GT3 RS. And the other thing, Chris, is that you called it Porsche Spotlight Month. We've got all sorts of things for you to do in these cars too.
So yeah, we're not just going to give away free cars and have nothing to do with them other than just go and race in multiplayer. We actually are lighting up a ton of new events, and we've been doing this with all of our Spotlight program. That's the whole point. Build deeper experiences for players that get these free cars.
Yep.
That's what Spotlight's all about. So when these things go live, there's going to be a bunch of hoppers, Rivals events, leagues, Forza-thons, everywhere in the game that you can go. We're going to have something to do with these 2 cars.
Yep.
It's going to be a great month of Porsche, and can't wait to get that 917 out there.
This vibrant green GT3
Oh,
RS.
yes.
This thing is just loud in
This
all
is available
respects.
next Tuesday as well.
That's right.
With the July update itself, including the Top Gear car pack.
You got it. You got it. So
It reminds me
everybody's
that-
going to be driving this, and if you've got the car pass, of course you can buy the Top Gear pack separately if you want. It's going to be available. But if you got the car pass, you got it coming to you at no additional charge, which is nice.
Super nice.
And these 2
Super
Porsches,
nice.
old and new Porsche. I mean, that's
I love that. It's kind of bookends.
That's enough. That's enough to keep you busy for a month. It's going to be a very busy month if you're a Forza player. There's a lot to enjoy.
When you get around the hairpin here, go into cockpit view. I want to see the inside of this thing. Oh yeah.
The sound from inside
I just
is
love
awesome,
it.
too.
Yeah. All right, tell us about this car. I mean, we're talking about it's sort of the cohort to the GT2 RS.
It's the more sedate.
Okay.
But it's still wild.
But it's still
just not
manic.
Yeah.
eat your face crazy wild.
Yeah,
like
it's
the GT2 RS.
it is a straight to the track car. This is a car you're not going to take this on a road trip. It's not comfortable. It's absolutely stiff suspension. It's 500 horsepower. It's built for the track. It is street legal. But if you think about the how old the 917 is, I mean that's from the 1960s, right?
69, 70, 71.
70. So look at the red line on this car. That 12-cylinder had a red line of 9,000. The new GT3 RS, 9,000 RPM.
Screams.
Red line. It's just a screaming engine. It's what Porsche has done awesome with.
Sutter, sorry to interrupt, but Sutter says, "Oh boy, a G-force indicator to keep me hypnotized." He's going to be hypnotized by that little dot moving.
Yes.
Oh, this mean?
Yeah. No, you'll make him sick. Don't do that.
That's hilarious.
But yeah, I mean, this car contrasts between the 917 and this one. The 917, of
A
course,
few
air-cooled,
decades of engineering.
and the GT3 RS water cooled. Just listen to it.
Chris, I know we're seeing a lot of questions
Yes.
about drag. We've talked about drag. That's a feature that we introduced on our Inside Xbox appearance in May. A lot of people are curious about when that's coming.
Yes.
It's going to debut as a single player feature.
Single player only when it first launches.
Right.
That is correct. So we're calling it experimental drag for a reason. It'll live alongside our current drag mode. And it's got a whole, we've talked about those features before, so I'm not going to go in too much detail around all the new drag features, but it is a fully new, robust drag experience, which we will be lighting up in the next couple of months.
I've seen it.
It's
awesome.
It is. We have everyone in the studio playing it right now. It's the drag mode that we've always wanted to make. And once again, it will start out as an experimental drag mode, single player only, and then we will be continuing adding features going forward. It's awesome.
I know you guys are curious. I know you want to play it. I want to play it as well. I mean, I have played it, but I want to play it on retail just like you guys want to play it. I wish I had a date that I could tell you that it's coming tomorrow or something like that, but rest assured that the whole team is working very hard across all aspects of this game, including that experimental drag feature, including the drift features that Chris was talking about. All these features are works in progress. We're making as much progress as quickly as we can, and as soon as they're ready to go out, you'll see it here on Forza Monthly right before it goes out to the public. So,
but the good thing is, these are coming.
They are coming.
These are things we are working on. It's not just a dream that a great version of drag is coming. It's not just a dream that drift improvements are coming. These are happening. We've announced them. Now we have to do it.
That's right. We're on the hook now.
Yeah, we. I just want to reiterate this message. I know other people have said this before, but the entire team, 100%, the entire Forza Motorsport team right now is working on Forza Motorsport 7.
That's right.
What that means is we're not going off making Forza Motorsport 8. We're actually not going off and making a brand new expansion. What we're doing is investing in the motorsport experience that you guys have right now, which makes it just better for everyone, right? Which means that if you have an entire team working on making the game better, it's just going to get better and better and better and better. And we're doing it all for free and all just listening to the community, making things better. And that's where all of these new features are coming from. And investing in the modes that we have, expanding things outward, and making a deep, robust motorsport game. Yeah. That's really what we're all about right now. So I hear you guys in terms of expansions, and we are actively looking at all different ways of increasing the content. I mean, obviously we have cars and cars and cars, and we're building deeper events and experiences around those cars. And I hear you guys. We're looking at tracks. We're looking at all sorts of other content expansions, quote unquote expansions.
Right.
But I look at every month as an expansion for us. Every month for us is really about building new experiences, a deeper and more robust FM7. And we hear the community. This is what we're doing right now.
So a lot more to come on Forza Motorsport 7 in the weeks and months to come, and you guys are going to find about it out here first on Forza Monthly. It's why we do this show, because we want to share the work that the whole team is doing back at Turn 10. Listen, before we go, we want to get you guys caught up a little bit on the Forza Racing Championship. Just a couple weeks ago, we had our Series 1 playoffs. We have a Series 1 champion. Let's go back and revisit the Series 1 playoffs from the Forza Racing Championship.
The best drivers in the world here, they've been battling out for 8 weeks of online competition to earn a spot on the global leaderboard, but also earn a spot here in Seattle, where they're going to battle for $75,000.
Look at how close these guys are. Second, third, and fourth, neck and neck, within centimeters of each other as we approach that finish line. Vanquish trying to hold on to that lead, swinging that back fender a little bit back and forth. Could this be the moment? Mitch looking for a way to pass, trying to sneak on the left-hand side. Can he do it? What a line there taken by Mitch, able to get that first spot.
And this battle evolved between two of TX3 drivers.
Drivers,
that's
oh
the
my
touch.
gosh, a collision.
The touch both of the track.
And look at that, just like that. Virus able to leap out in front.
Shrug of the shoulders from Hard BR, not happy with the bump from the teammate Lightning. Surprising to see.
Coming down turn number 1. Who's gonna blink? G2 Rs, back-to-back wins. How about that battle there?
Top 3 drivers within distance of each other. Box in the front.
All smiles for Box there, as he's got to be feeling great. He places second, first. Only 12 remain. Take a look at this. Box coming in the grid and pole, And on Final 12, the best of the best are here for tomorrow.
And here we are getting into Spa-Francorchamps right away with a very tight turn. Some smells.
Liège, that's Liège.
Going right into the distance. What a disaster for both Hard BR and Liège, falling all the way back.
You know, for Liège, I just don't think we can sugarcoat this. This is his championship disappearing right now.
But Box, he's able to stay out in front of all that mayhem. Certainly all their attention focused on doing the absolute best they can because the entire series comes down to this race. And just like
in the
that,
first
Box
sector.
spinning away, an absolute disaster for him. He's trying to be in first place. Roadrunner, he's going to be happy about that. So Box, his main goal here again, stay on the tail of Roadrunner.
I'm pretty sure that if Roadrunner gets to 5th position here, that is his championship. Now he's going to need 4th, and that's a spin.
No.
That's Roadrunner off.
Oh no, Roadrunner
it.
can't ride himself. Roadrunner stuck against the fence here. And Box, I think he might have done it with that position, finishing ahead of Roadrunner. Nothing but jubilation here in Seattle, Washington. Congratulations from next to him, from behind him.
And that win didn't start at the start line of Le Mans. It didn't start today or yesterday. This is a win that started for him earlier this year, changing his mindset, working on his game throughout this season. It's been building and building for this guy. Absolutely incredible.
And ladies and gentlemen, our champion, Noble Box.
A moment that will surely be an iconic moment in Forza Racing Championship history. Box, just moments after securing that Series 1 playoff, and and tears coming to his eyes. I will never forget that. It was incredible.
Amazing.
So Series 1 is over. Now it's time for Series 2. In just 2 weeks, I think it is, the Rivals Qualifiers start up. You guys, if you've never played, if you're like, am I fast enough to be part of the Forza RC, Chris? Now's the time to find out. Get in there. We've got the new Rivals Qualifiers. We're going to have booster qualifiers. We've got some changes to the rules a little bit. I think those qualifying Rivals are going to be a little bit shorter than before. We hear what you're saying. I don't want to spend 72 hours doing Rivals. I just want to compact that a little bit. And don't forget, our first Wednesday showdown will be July 18th. Right here in the studio, we will have the first Wednesday showdown competition, 2 broadcasts that day, 1 for Europe, 1 for North America, just like we did in Series 1. Don't want to forget that. So be here July 18th for that. One other thing we failed to mention, Chris Asaki, we've got so much stuff. We're like, we forgot to mention this.
It's huge. So these are good problems to have.
Yes.
These are really good problems to have. We've been talking a lot about Forza Motorsport 7 updates, and we've forgotten one of the most requested and obvious and noticeable issues that we've had with FM7 is scrolling.
Yeah.
In the garage.
Check
in the
this
garage.
out. So
yeah, just if you guys can show off what I'm doing right now, just cut to the game real quick. You can see, look how quickly I'm moving through these cars. Now, granted, I don't have a huge full garage here, but even if I did, you're scrolling through.
I know this is so so funny that this is something that is newsworthy.
Well, when you have games
So much
with
better.
nearly 800 cars, these are problems other games don't have to deal with.
This is
you
true.
Don't necessarily think
this is
about
true.
it until we get there.
And this is one of these things that actually it honestly has gotten worse as we've added more cars.
Right.
And it is now fixed. So I apologize wholeheartedly to everyone in the community to suffer through this. It is now fixed.
Yeah.
It will be in the next update next week. So thank
July
you
10th,
for the
a lot of good
patience.
stuff
A lot of
We
stuff.
should all high five on that. I mean, that's seriously awesome.
But it's so great for multiplayer.
Yes. Oh yeah. I mean, that's the biggest thing. It's just it makes multiplayer. It fixes so many problems that we're having right now. So this is great. This is huge news for us. And this is just one of the the bug list is huge this time.
Yep.
Not just the new features, but just I consider this more of a bug than necessarily. But it is an experience. It is a feature.
Yep.
These are just one of the many things that we fixed in this update outside of new features. So once again, I wanted to say, thanks to the team at Turn 10 for putting this thing together. This is seriously one of the biggest experience updates we've ever done in the history of motorsport, and it includes car pack, free cars, a ton of new events and content tons of bug fixes, and then some host features, this new scrolling update. Like there's just so much here.
Yeah,
I'm
there's so much here. And you guys will be able to experience it starting on July 10th with the release of the July update and the Top Gear car pack and those Porsche Spotlight cars. So much good stuff coming in just over a week. I can't wait to play it with all of you guys. Guys, thank you so much for being part of the show. John, thank you so much we got a lot more news about Forza Horizon 4 coming this summer.
Oh, yeah.
More to reveal.
More to reveal.
And John, you'll be showing off these cars on Tuesday, release day.
Absolutely. Next Tuesday, join me for the Tuesday drive. In fact, join me tomorrow for the Tuesday drive. I'll be doing the show tomorrow at 1 p.m. Pacific.
And Chris Sasaki, we're just getting started.
We are. This is month 2.
Yeah.
Just think what's going to happen next month.
Hey, we'll be back in August for the next edition of Forza Monthly. Thank you all for joining us. We had so much fun. We'll be back in August for the next episode. Until then, bye-bye, everybody. Take care.
Woo!